now for the triple option crystal ball brought to you by
Where's that ball at, man? Where's that crystal?
It's tiny. It's tiny. It's deep in the recesses of my huge podcast studio. The triple option crystal ball is brought to you by BetMGM. BetMGM is giving you the chance to win a prize every day during the baseball season. Step into the batter's box for BetMGM's Swing for the Fences free-to-play game. Visit BetMGM app to access the game, and you'll score a prize if you hit a single, a double, triple, or a home run. So this week, we're going to use the crystal ball to look into a program that has had that spotlight directly on them the last couple seasons. Coach Prime up there in Boulder in Colorado. The expectations this season, guys, understandably so, according to BetMGM, much lower. BetMGM is setting the win total 6.5.
Oh.
Ouch. Ouch, baby.
I'm looking at their schedule, Mark. This
Yeah.
is going to be a tough one, man.
It's going to be a tough one. So BetMGM sets the regular season win total right now at 6.5. The over coming in at plus 150. The under is at minus 185. So again, 6.5, right? So this will be year number 3 under Coach Prime. Remember, year 1 went 4-8. Last year, overall, it was 9-4, closed with the bowl loss to BYU, but did finish the regular season 9-3, and that was with Shedeur Sanders at quarterback and Heisman Trophy winner Travis Hunter playing both sides of the ball. And they had 3 of their top 4 wide receivers that are now gone in the NFL. They had no ranked wins last season, guys. He has dipped into the transfer portal like we know he would, but clearly not to the same extent that he did in years past. He has 26 transfer portal commits. Remember, last year was around 43. One of the big ones, though, is Caden Slater, the transfer quarterback from Liberty, who put up almost 8,000 total yards and 77 touchdowns as a 3-year starter. He's also got a 5-star freshman coming in, and Juju Lewis. So we'll talk about Colorado, but as always, let's start with that schedule that you're already looking at, Coach, and it begins with Georgia Tech.
There was a time Georgia Tech was not, it's had an incredible – Paul Johnson had it moving, then it kind of fell apart. But Brent Key's got him going. I don't know. It's at Boulder, though, it looks like. So that's a tough trip for Georgia Tech early in the year. You have altitude issues. I'm putting 0.5 there.
I knew you were going to start
what
with
do you think, Mark?
0.5 is crazy. I'm gonna say, man, it's just all up in the air right now because we don't know what Colorado's going to look like.
Right.
All right, we'll give him a 0.5. That's fine.
Okay,
that's fine.
Okay.
Let's give him a 1. The Delaware
we'll give him a
Blueheads
1.
in
So that's
town.
1.5.
And then they hit the road at Houston. I think Houston is really a program on the rise that we're going to be talking a little bit more about in the coming years. But a road trip at Houston, we talking another 0.5?
No, I say a W.
Oh, W. All right,
2.5.
I'll give you W. All right, home to Wyoming.
W.
W?
3.5.
All right. Then versus BYU, and obviously BYU is going through a whole lot at quarterback right now and late stages.
Yeah, I read that, Mike.
But
gosh.
BYU is, a program athletically, the whole program, not just football, but everything athletic for BYU is on the rise. They're playing the money game. They're going to be great in basketball again. But home to BYU, another 0.5.
So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. They're
We're at
4 wins.
So let's just give them 4 with all those 0.5s.
I'm going over. If they have 4 wins
well, hold on.
We gave 0.5.
Yeah, we might be
I don't
slowing
see if
the
they
roll
win
now.
another one, though.
Because now we're going to Fort Worth. You're going into the
at
fort.
TCU versus Iowa State.
You're going to take it on TCU. No.
Yep, no.
Then you're home to Iowa State.
No.
Then you're at Utah. Utah
No.
has to be better this year.
No.
So we're stuck at 4, by the way, versus Arizona. Home to Arizona. Let's give them 1, huh?
5.
5.
Okay,
at
5.
West Virginia.
I don't know. No, I think Rich
It's
Rod's
at
going
West
to get that
Virginia.
place cranked up, man.
Coach Rich Rod, what are they going to be? Then home to Arizona State. By the way, the team that won the Big 12 last year and went to the national playoffs.
No.
At Kansas State, one of the favorites to win the Big 12.
Listen, man.
Fast start.
We're here at 5. We're hanging at 5, and the number is 6.5.
Talk to me, Mark. Damn.
Listen, it's all about the cohesion that we find, like with Colorado. This Slater kid, he goes out, he has experience. He gets it going.
Yeah.
They get an offensive line that can protect the quarterback. They have a defense that can.
So you're saying over?
I'm saying we don't know, man. I'm saying we don't know.
You get paid to say no.
Right? I'm going over because I have faith in Deion. I feel like they're going to get this thing together. let's just be honest though. What is 6.5? I say 6-7 wins. I think that's a good season for them right now.
I agree.
You had lost Shedeur, you lost Travis Hunter, arguably the best player in college football of recent. And then I just think their coaching staff, man, they have a lot of coaches with a lot of experience. They went and got Marshall Faulk. They went and got D'Amato Pico, one of the D linemen I play with. So you got this coaching tree of experience and knows how to communicate with players. They've hit the transfer portal. They went and got a quarterback. They trying to shore up this offensive line. They were last in sacks per game last year. So it's a lot of things that have to go right. But I think with the coaching staff, with the players, with the mindset and the strategy that Deion has, I feel like they're going to get this thing going. Let's just be realistic. 6 or 7 wins, that'll be a great season for Colorado this year. As long as they look the part, they're two deeps. If there's injuries that happen, they have two deeps that can go in there and still play formidable football. If they're running the football, not getting bullied in the trenches, if they're protecting the quarterback, all those things. If they do those things, I feel like it'll be a successful season for Prime.
Year 3, coach. Year 3 is always a tricky one. And with that spotlight, that always seems to find Coach Prime and the way he's gone about it and with his kids with the program and winning the Heisman. This is probably going to be you think this is going to be tougher than year 1 for him in Boulder?
I do, because he set a stand. Now it depends. Once you hit a 9-win, that's almost like, okay, the crowd will probably start to thin out if they start losing, and then you got some issues. They've been the talk of college football. And the other thing I want to point out is that this Colorado team, we don't know what it's going to look like. We knew last year what it's going to look like. You had Travis Hunter, you had Shedeur, you had a certain look to it. This will be completely different. They don't have the transfer portal, the 40 guys. It's much less, which, you're reading it, that tells there's stability in the program. When you start flipping 45, 50 players every year, I still don't know how that worked. But
we got to see. We got to see.
So I'm with Mark on this. I think it's going to be right around there, and it's amazing. Again, Vegas. Who in the hell does that for Vegas? Because they are good.
People who make a way above our pay grade, because they be right on it.
Because they know the backdrop. There's a lot of. I remember when I was coaching, I'd hear stories like, "How do they know that?" So,
yep.
By the way, if Coach Prime pulls it off, I think he needs to get his due in the terms of his coaching chops.
Yes. This is a credibility year for Deion's coaching. You lose Travis, you lose Shedeur, and now it ain't about flash. It's about coaching. It's about leadership. It's about teaching. It's about adjusting. And like I said, they have those coaches. So, it ain't – I got faith in them, but you know what I mean? It's not about Instagram clips. It's not about none of that. Not about celebrity power. It's about, can you get this team looking like a football team? And that's going to be through coaching. It's not going to be through star power. It's going to be through building your roster, building the chemistry. And I have faith in Deion. I have faith in his coach staff that he's assembled. I think they're going to do it, man. So
I want to add one last thing, Mark, because I got to go backstage of the whole scene, and and so did you. You met with the players, but I went and watched them practice. And it's as uncomfortable sometimes as I am when I see the watches and I see the cars and all the flash. It's just not me. But when I saw what went on behind the scenes, I agree with you. There's a culture there. He is tough on him, man. He is demanding of that team, and that's what blew my mind. And I remember calling you guys. I said, guys, this is not a 1-in-10 program. First of all, I saw Travis Hunter. Yes. And I said, whoa, you have to be an idiot not to see that one. Yeah. But they had good-looking players. They had fast receivers, and their coaching staff worked really hard. There is not one way that I always evaluate a team and their staff. There's no wasted time. Yeah. They went out to work and they left, and in between those 2 hours, it was go time. Yeah. And I've left other practices like, this is awful. Come on, let's go. There's substance in that program for sure. Yep. They're building men. Sure, there's substance. So that's why I believe in Colorado. That's why I believe in Prime. It starts at the top, right? It starts with Coach Prime. He's had some health issues this offseason as well. So Coach Prime, we're always thinking about you. One of our favorite human beings, not just in college football, but in general. So stay healthy, get healthier, be strong, Coach Prime.